Let's see, we should be live. Let's check, and we seem to be live. Hello everybody. What's up? Hope you're having a good day. I made it! I made it 2 days in a row, let's go! well. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, we will be continuing with the MIG 1.44 or 1.42. Interesting. I did not see there was a designation difference. Mikoyan Project 1.44. It's an interesting plane. Not stealth at all. Like, at all. But quite interesting that this plane was Soviet Union's, or well, the whatever you might call it, unsegregated. I forgot whatever the Soviet Union's USSR's full form was. This was apparently their response for the F-22 Raptor, which is quite weird if you look at what the F-22 Raptor is. Like, it's not a joke. Like, this thing is still 30 years, close to 30 years into its service. This thing is still top dog, and it was designed with like stealth in mind from the outset. So interesting that this was the Russians' reply to that. I still don't get it. Like, where did they intend to go with this? Because this was definitely not their end product. This was not the design that was going to go in mass production. But I can't see how they would make it stealth. Even the in-spirit successor, the J20? Yeah, J20. Even the J20, which looks like the direct successor of the MiG 1.44. Even that had to switch up like quite a lot. Like, these are the most similar you will get. And even then, many people have doubts about this thing's stealth. And as well as, well, how nimble of a plane this is. This feels very heavy. Feels very non-nimble, like sluggish. Feels almost more sluggish than the plane it seems to have taken inspiration from. Like, the MiG 1.44 looks less sluggish than the J20. So yeah, this is interesting. I can't kind of figure out how this would have responded to this. Like, their later on project, where does it go? Where's the... Okay, now this, on the other hand, even though, well, it's been exposed to not have really good stealth, you can visually, for somebody who doesn't know the technicals of stealth that well, you could look at this and then look at that and be like, okay, this is built as a competitor to this. But then this thing, it would have been cool to see them develop this further, because, well, only that would have told us what a stealth version of this would have actually looked like. Because right now there's all sorts of problems with stealth. Like, right in the front in the intake you see, like, how many? 8 right angles? It's horrible. You should never have a 90-degree angle basically for stealth. That is one of the very basic rules, I suppose. There's many other things, but yeah, that's one of the very basic things. Like on the outside of an aircraft, there should never be any kind of perfectly perpendicular 90-degree angle. That's what you see in this plane. Like you can't see any 90-degree angle on any of the parts. Is there a design? Yeah, see. You can't tell any 90 degrees over here. None of them are perfectly perpendicular to each other. Oh, we have videos. Oh, there's so much on the F-22. Well, makes sense. It's the F-22. Oh, there you go, yeah. Relatively small. But, oh, interesting. There's a two-seater variant planned. Would have looked nice, I suppose. But yeah. Would have been cool to see where the Russians would want to go with this. Well, getting back to our design. I keep forgetting to do this. There you go. There's our design. Let's continue. This time we'll work on the bottom half and make it possibly, hopefully, slightly better than the top half. See this? You see this cloth kind of dip or divot. I'm gonna try to not have it on the bottom of the aircraft. Like over here, this thing, this crease. And try to do a better job at the bottom. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Luckily today, you see this green line? Let me see if it shows up on the screen. It does. Nice. Okay, so the green. Whoa. Okay, yeah. The green line means our body, or this. Well, the scoop, the big rectangle, which is the bottom of the aircraft, as well as the air intakes and the whole air, well, tube, funnel, going all the way to the engine and the exhaust, is perfectly divided into two symmetrical parts. So whatever I do here will show up over there by default, automatically. Well, so let's go do that. First things first, I will have to select a bunch of these. And most probably subdivide them. Yeah, I'll have to go ahead and do that. Now, subdivide. Okay, there we go. We have more parts to work with now. Let's see, how far up debum do I want to put this? For that, let's look at some references. Do we have a good enough reference of the back of the plane? No, we don't. The bottom half, that too. It's really difficult to get reference of the bottom half of any plane. The back and the bottom half. Like here, you rarely, like, very little reference. Surprisingly, like, knowing how huge these planes are, like how tall they are, you very rarely get photos like these where you can see this section, the bottom below, exactly below the flame. Well, that was not the plane we want to work with anyway, so let's see, do we get any form of reference? Is there any reference of the back of that plane? Oh, wait, I mean, it's not the real plane, but we do have a CG render. Do we want to take a reference from a CG render? Oh, we might have one. We might have one. There's barely anything. Okay. You're getting more reference. Oh, wow. That's really smooth. Okay. Alright. Let's see how it is. I'll just keep it at that for now to keep getting references. Okay. Switch. Oh, wait. How long have I been doing this for? Damn, it's been over 10 minutes just doing that? Okay, interesting. Spent quite a bit of time. I did not realize I spoke so slow. Okay. Let's move fast then from this timestamp onwards. Oh, this is so much better. Mirroring it was such a good idea. This is so many levels better. Oh my goodness. Almost perfect. Now the reason why I pulled this guy down is because it was getting too squishy over here on top. Even if I tried to fix it, because this one was too close to the edge, it would remain extremely squishy. You need to give things space to breathe, just like humans. I'm squishing the other end, so I have to give it flexibility on the other end. And always there'll be some limits, like it was still inwards. So there's always limits to how close you can put these points. For example, I do not think I can make this non-squishy unless I do a much larger pull over here. Okay, seems like a decent idea. I guess by the time I do the third or the fourth design after this, I should be able to do like a unibody. Right now I have like multiple different bodies. I just mush them together at the end. But I should be able to get a unibody, like how to do it all in a single body, not too long after. Seems like a good... God damn, that was so much faster than yesterday. I mean, I still have to fix quite a bit, if you can see this. But the main curves, god damn. This is not accurate, and it took me what? The whole hour of the stream I did yesterday? And then this was less time than I took talking at the start. I still have to fix it, but yeah, what the hell? That's nice. Okay, let's go back and fix the rest. Let's see, how can we do that? Okay, let's take 1, 2, oh, oopsie, 3, 4. Because they seem to be the main troublemakers. Push them in a little bit, pull them up. Okay, and then we have these guys. Because they don't want to help make it smooth. So we're just gonna push them in a little bit. Push them up. And we have these guys who seem to be needing to come more a little bit up out. Okay. How about I do this? This should make it look... Ouch! Okay. I did not see that. Okay, now this should make it look a little bit more relaxed, I suppose. Ooh, hoo, hoo. You're kidding me? I mean, it's still not exactly perfect cylindrical structure. It's still indent, flat bits. How do I not have those flat bits? does this look like? Okay, a little bit less, I suppose. It's still quite there, to be honest. What do I do with that curvature? It's not a lot. If you don't know a lot about modeling, you probably won't even see it, but I can't let it be. I have to try my, like, if I'm doing a piece nicely, I have to try to do it as nicely as possible. If I screwed it already, who gives a shit? Who cares? I can just keep it screwed up. But I've been putting effort doing it right. I don't want to not do it right at the last second. Like, but nah. After all of that effort at the last second, you're gonna not put an effort in that. Seems good. That was also extremely fast. Let's take more of a look at references. So over here you have the J20 and to the right, and the plane we are working on, the MIG-1.44 on the left. Okay, let's see if the edge is more curved than what we have made. Let's check. And do we need to make it more curved? Yeah, it does look like we need to make ours a bit more curvy. Okay. Now I'll just give this the symmetry tool as well, so that at least today I don't have to put in the effort. Yep. Thank you. Okay, today I don't have to put in the effort. It's more symmetrical by default today. Okay. Whoops. It's a bit difficult to select these parts piece by piece. Sometimes, yeah. And you're operating, what do you call it? Your assisting tool button gets in the way, which is, well, as the name suggests, supposed to be for assisting. It becomes a bit difficult sometimes. And the thing that's supposed to be supporting you unwantingly, accidentally hinders you. Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens when I do this. Nope, it just reduces the overall size of the craft, which is not what we are looking for. We're not looking for a size reduction. Let's see, what is it? Oof, what the hell is that? Still does look quite a bit wonky. I guess within the errors we made yesterday, it's not too bad of a thing. Yeah, I can clearly see the issue. Let's see what that looks like. Hmm. Wait. I suppose that looks better, but not yet. Okay, that should make it look better. Yeah, a little bit less of a sudden bump on the edge, I suppose. Still there, still there. It's just this top half which is, well, not hitting the mark, huh? Yeah, I guess we've reduced it quite a bit. I haven't idea how to reduce it any further than this. Yeah, I guess I did have some idea how to reduce it. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna leave it at that before I start getting too much into it and being like, oh, I want perfection. No, that's never gonna end. I don't have all day. Okay, now to make some moves. How about we start with okay, so bodies. Let me just rename these. What the hell is the rename? Exhaust left, exhaust right. Exhaust left. Exhaust right. Okay, that works. Now we know what we definitely don't want. Okay. So these, I could take a risk, which could look really cool. And I've decided I'm gonna try to take the risk. Let's see, how do I want to go about taking that risk? Do I want to make a box and spread it out? Or do I want to make cylinder? Oh, that's a tough question, huh? Yeah, I want to go with the cylinder. In the box, I won't get the airfoil shape of a wing. And just a second, I'll explain what that is and what it looks like. I'll just get this done and I'll explain that. Okay, that should be right. Always do divide your cylinders in even numbers. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 14. I'm not so sure if 14 works. But yeah, you want divisions, edges on all 4 of your cardinal main directions. You want those edges to show up. So you have one line to perfectly pull straight up. You have lines to pull straight to the left or right. And you have a line to pull straight below. It's not at an angle. And then when you want symmetry, the reason why you need lines or edges on all 4 main directions is when you're trying to work on an object that is symmetrical, which is a lot of objects. The overwhelming, I would say, almost majority of objects. And you're doing this kind of solid parametric modeling and not animation modeling. You want them to be north, south, east, west kind of a thing. So you can easily maintain symmetry. Do I want symmetry? No, I don't. Oh, by what I meant by my last sentence was, do I want symmetry in the part itself? Which is something you can do when you put a new part right at the start. But then because this thing is going to be stretched to be this triangle, I don't want the left and the right side of the cylinder to be symmetrical and be the same. If I try to do that and make a slope over here, it'll automatically give it a slope on the back, which I do not want. An equal and opposite slope. It's Edward! Hello! Namaste! What's up? Long time no see. How's it going? You having a good day? Was it good? Good, fresh sunshine today morning? Let's see. But yeah, good to see you after a while. How you been? Let me know. I mean, I'll just get done with putting this part in place, and then I'll let you know what we are working on. Delete. Okay, I have the beginnings of a wing. Oops. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that seems about right. But well, just to show you, this is where we stand. At the moment, I have some basic plate wings, which I'm gonna remove. So usually I would have just left these plate wings as is. But then, come on, we gotta level up. We gotta make them more detailed. So these are just placeholders. I'm gonna get rid of them later on. And this has been the latest new improvement, I guess, in terms of the aircraft body being more smooth and realistic. It's not as good on the top, as you can see, but it's much better on the bottom. But yeah, that is where we stand at the moment. Yep, there we go. They're good. 106. Oh my god. Yes, I get very conscious about it. once I say something which sounds very Western, I, yeah, I have no idea that happens, and then I'm like, well, yeah, it does feel like Minecraft creeper territory. Explode. Yeah. 100 and oh, oof. God damn, Edward. You had your own personal sun just for your house. That's very hard. Yeah, take care, man. Hopefully you have like good air conditioning and stuff indoors, or what I used to do when I was young, because we didn't really have an air conditioner for a short amount of time, because our old one kind of broke down, and when it breaks down, you can't rush too much to get a new one. You can't just buy anything. So there's a time frame where the old one wouldn't work that well, and we still didn't want to go in for the new one for a while. So me and Papa Fuji would go to the mall and just window shop. Not for any toys, even though I freaking love toys, if that is not obvious from me modeling these planes. But not for any toys, not for like furniture, grocery, clothes, none of that. We just go and window shop for air conditioning. Our goal for going to the mall was air conditioning. But yeah, you can do that if you have any issues with your home air conditioner. If you have any malls nearby, you can go check them out. Also, to tell you about, so yeah, let me know how well comfortable it is indoors for you, at least, hopefully. Meanwhile, this is the AC is good to know. At least you're not melting like cheese product in quotes. But yeah, here you have the MIG-1.44. Interesting project. Really sad story the way it went. Unfortunate story. Just like a lot of other Russian aircraft programs. Started out, was about a decade late. Yeah, was about a decade late. Still pushed through. Had its first flight. Had only one flight and got cancelled immediately after the first flight. Like within like 4 or 5 months. I'm surprised it lasted after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and still like 10 years after that they still pushed for a first flight. Yeah, very interesting aircraft. Even as a technology demonstrator, very funny looking. Looks like a toy almost, like not like a real craft. And Meshkin, hello, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. How's it going? Let us know. I am making a 3D printing model, not really an animation model. So I'm currently looking at the history and more or less the story of this interesting plane called Project 1.44 by MIG. Looking at some references, some other inspirations that people seem to have taken, who this plane was built to compete with, which when you put the competition in front of the screen, it just feels a bit funny. It doesn't feel like this was meant as a serious competitor for this, the F-22. But yeah, today we are making about, how much is 10 centimeters? Three and a half to 4 inch long 3D model. while going through the history, just so that it doesn't get too dry. This is, by the way, part 2, so the plane isn't going to be built in 1 or 2 streams. It's probably going to take around 10 streams, because I'm not doing a day-long stream. I'm doing like an hour and a half. Actually, yeah, roughly. Slightly over an hour. Hopefully every day. Maybe not. Depends on my schedule. But yeah, that's a little bit of a recap on the plane. We'll be coming back to these pages throughout the stream whenever anybody has a question or just to look at what the real deal is. But yeah, we are back over here at the model, just going back through the design. This is the progress. We have some placeholder wings, and we're gonna get rid of those placeholder wings right about now. Hopefully we get through the base shape of the wing today before stream ends, and then that will be our target for today's stream, to get done with the base shape. Okay. Let's see, how wide do we want this to be? About so. And then we can just pull the other parts further. Nope, that's not working. This should. Considering we are pulling it out quite a bit. That was not pun intended, by the way. Okay, about so. Come on, give me the damn piece. Why do I have to hit OK every single time? It won't give me the damn piece. Okay. Push it slightly further ahead. Whoops, not like that. That will happen like a minute later. Where we slant the body, give it a slope. For now, I guess yeah, that's good enough. And now we just start building. Okay, let's see. Let's start by giving this a slope. Well, just a little bit, because we're gonna pull this end back. About so. And we're gonna do similar minor corrections for the back end, but instead of going outward, the back end will go a bit inward at the start. And a bit outward on the outside of the loop. About so. Yep. Now let's squish it, because, well, even though, hey, there you go, you're already getting a basic airfoil shape. So this is very, very basic of what a wing looks like. This is quite a bit fat, actually. If you were to imagine something between a falcon, yeah, a falcon and a pigeon, this looks like a pigeon, right? It needs to look like a falcon. Okay. You know what? I can give it vertical symmetry, to be honest. Let's try to give it vertical symmetry. I won't have to switch it around vertically, right? I don't think so. But yeah. Hopefully, considering I don't have to switch it around, like have the top be different from the bottom, hopefully. then vertical symmetry will be quite useful. Let's just check that, test that theory. Okay, every bit needs to come in closer. Otherwise, it just looks a bit funny, to be honest. Let's change the angle to... There we go. Easier selection. Whoops. Can still make a mistake. Okay, I've left the edges out for now, very deliberately, so that could happen. There you go. Getting more sharper now. Okay. It has to be way more sharper than this. Yeah, see, this is something we do not want to do. That looks pretty from the side when you look at it. It's absolutely not practical. So yeah, let's start reducing the pieces we push in. Whoa, it's okay. I guess it's still quite a bit. Ah, we forgot to deselect the edge over there. Always be very careful with your selections whenever working on any software which requires selections, not just 3D softwares. So always be careful with your selections. Now you'll notice I removed one from the front but didn't from the back. That didn't help us. I need to remove one from the back as well. Now this needs to be roughly just as thick as, let's finish form, as this guy. If it's much thinner, then it's not gonna print in the printer, because roughly about a millimeter thick is a good idea to keep your, well, flat panels like this. This is basically a piece of cardboard, right? It's thin but quite long, so you don't want it to be too thin, otherwise it's weak. This should be enough, as this is the ending edge. And I'll just for safety, I'll thicken it at the back a bit. The front also I'll have to thicken a bit, I suppose. Okay, so let's push these two, or instead of pushing them, I can just insert an edge on the other end. I need an edge on the other end. There we go. And the same thing on the back. Oops. Insert edge. Now, do I want this edge on the other end? I did. That actually helped out. Okay. Let's take this a bit more further ahead. Okay. And pushing it very slightly down. So now this wouldn't be a good airfoil because it's literally quite flat. We've given it top to bottom symmetry. So whatever is the top curve will be exactly the bottom curve. But it works for us as this is supposed to be a static non-flight model. So it makes our job easier just to make the model. Oops, I did not want to finish. Now, to do the magic to make it start looking like a wing relatively quickly. Whoop. Let's match it with edges on the canvas. Yeah, should be about right. I completely forgot I had symmetry on. I even selected the bottom half. Okay, how about that? Interesting. That tells us that this wasn't out enough. It's curving a bit inwards. That's more flat. Should be flat. Similar business over here we have, but in the opposite direction. Now here you'll see it's bending outward, but there is a slight bend outward for you. So we need that bend outward. We're not gonna try to fix it as such. We don't need to. Let's have a look at some reference. Let's see, do we have a close enough reference of this thing's wing? That's the butt of the plane. This would be a good reference point. Yeah, I can see it. You see this really thin line. That's supposed to be the root where the wing is attached. It's not exactly in line, it's slightly... The angle is slightly different, ever so slightly, at least from what I can see. I'm not saying objectively it's that. At least from what I can see, it's that. Well, there goes that. Also, the wing seems to be quite fat near the root of the plane and then tends to get way thinner towards the edge. There you see it. See how the thickness just starts tapering off. Now, if I want that to match, I'll have to make my wing thicker than it is right now, because scaling doesn't exactly always work by replicating something like part by part perfectly. You have to deliberately make it slightly different. You have to squish some parts, you have to blow up and fatten up some other parts. Just so that you can be put it... Wait, what? Did I just move it? Oh, wait, I did the right thing. By how much did I move it again? 0.5. Yeah, I suppose point... Oof, ouch. 0.5 does not look good. How about 0.25? So a quarter of a millimeter. So overall, top and bottom both combined would be half a millimeter. I have increased the thickness by, which is enormously tiny. But hey, I would be able to tell the difference. Also, Nerpy. Hello. Nice to meet you. we are working on an interesting aircraft design. So I hope you find some interest in this. How's your day been? Let me know. Meanwhile, I'll just give you a quick tour of what we are working on. We are working on an old... Well, this would be the third. I don't know. I'm still new at this. Kind of. I'm not really new. But yeah. This is the plane. Failed project. Not really failed. Rather shut down project. Didn't go really far. Was supposed to be Russia's or Soviet Union's response to the F-22. Interesting looking plane, simple design, and the subject of today's model. What? You don't like the plane? You're kidding. Come on. It's an interesting plane. You seem to immediately know the plane, so I take it you have some interests in aviation. Tell me, why do you not like the plane? How long have you been in it? Everything Soviet's terrible. Okay, I do agree everything Soviet is terrible from a practical standpoint. So having it actually work, yeah, sure, not so good. But we're not going for that. We're just going for the visuals here. Visually? Come on. Come on, visually. Gotcha. Yeah, that must not be a good experience, I suppose. Visually, at least the Sukhois are good. The, well, MiG-20 series, the 29, I mean, it's not a series really. MiG-29 and MiG-35 will look good. Nah, what are you on about? I guess the camo doesn't look all that good. They would look way better in like American style, just all gray. Yeah, that's more, I would say that's more of a paint scheme thing. If you look at, I suppose you might know the Aggressor Squadron of American Air Force. Wait, United States Air Force Aggressor Squadron. US. Pardon my spelling. Ah, not too bad. Look, this F-16 does not look nice. Like, no matter who says what, hey, what are we looking at? What is this? What the heck is this? That's an F-16 with Soviet marks on it. What? No. No. But then these look nice. Proper gray tone. But yeah, I do see where how it would look kind of meh. But I would chalk it up more to paint than the structure. Like Russian planes have good structure. Visually they look nice. Sweden looks like Akula dragons. You mean the Vegan? Because the Vegan is the only one I like. The, what do you call it? The camo off. Oh, actually, Draken. The Draken was also a good one. Vegan. Saab. Yeah, this looks nice. They managed to make their camo work for them. Frankly speaking, camo is a really somewhat outdated thing. If you can see the plane, you can definitely hear it. So I don't get the point of camo in today's world. What was the spelling again of Draken? I do not remember the correct spelling, but it should show up. There we go. There's no C in it. But yeah, this shite. This, not too bad, but the photos, well, the photo doesn't do it justice. This, very pretty, but not a military camo. Oh, the yellow one looks nice. Again, not a military camo. You don't want mustard sauce flying at you at Mark 2. Ah, there we go. There we go. War Thunder. Thank you. War Thunder comes to the rescue. Now that's a good camo on an aircraft. You know what is not a good camo on an aircraft? Oh, wrong one. 30... What was it? 33? No. 34? 32. No, that's not it. What's the... 25? Is it 25? Ah, now this is horrible. This I can accept is universally horrible. The plane does its job. It has better engines than the A10. But the paint and the form factor of this plane, like, goddamn. What am I looking at? I'm looking at a cross. It's just a plus. But yeah, come on, compared to that, nah, this is nice. The yellow one is training. No, it had special, what do you call those? It had swordfish painted on both wings. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an air show version, even along with the red one. So maybe later on they used it for some kind of ground training. But well, we saw it flying, and it had really flashy paint scheme. You're not gonna put lovely paint on a plane and then not fly it. Come on. But yeah, MiG-21 was your choice. Interesting choice for a good, well, or for a, well, favorite Soviet aircraft. Well, what are your parameters for selecting that as your favorite? Let's go with that. Bases on what? Are you basing it on the physical components? Are you basing it on just purely the visual design? Are you basing it on the, like, how well it flew? What are we basing this off of? Also, please don't mind me. I might take a second to reply every now and then. Where the hell? Oh, sorry. There we go. I guess I'll leave it at that. And then pull these back. Come on. There we go. Also, my main reason for selecting the MIG 1.44 modeling was that I've been really gone for a while, even in terms of practice with the software. So, seemed like a bunch of simple geometries attached together to make, compared to, let's say, an F-22 or an Su-57. Let's see. Whoops, what is wrong with my OBS? Okay, there we go. Even if it fights poorly, you can't exactly see It's a Gen 3 that still fights. Oh yeah, I agree. I agree. If that's your parameter. Yeah, that's your parameter for selecting the 21. I would agree. It has some great modifications. Some really, really good modifications. Makes it really come like almost on par to um, older blocks of F-16s. MiG-21, that is. Even if it fires poorly, you can't exactly see phantoms right nowadays. Well, depends. Depends. You can. You still very much can see phantoms fight. Uh, fight is. Hopefully, we don't see any phantoms fight. That won't be good. Uh, d- well, if you keep in mind where the last remaining operational phantoms are, they're in the Korean Air Force and the Japanese Air Force. So, well, I would like to see them fly. I wouldn't like to see them fight. Uh, Shit. Well, which one? Which one is not classified as a MiG, you would say? Uh, huh. Oh, you mean like yeah. It was a demonstrator. It was never meant to be like the final design, or it specifically says it was a technology demonstrator. I agree. That's just, I guess you would call it popular nomenclature. Or at least we classified them like that. Ah, yeah, gotcha. But yeah, I would say outside the Soviet sphere, it is just known as the MiG-1.44. It would be interesting to see this plane further developed. Because, not because it is an interesting aircraft. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, 25 is the worst. By far. But yeah, it would be interesting for like at least for the meme value, because this thing, I am very keen to know how the heck was this thing supposed to compete with an F-22. Like, just how you can compete with a MiG-21 can like be hyper upgraded to compete with an F-16, but how do you compete with an F-22 in a plane that is definitely not a stealth aircraft or a stealth design? What would even be the logic for that one? So would this one see radical design changes in it? Would the final piece be like nothing like this one? Interesting. Interesting. Whoopsie. Interesting questions for me. Okay. That's managed. These need to be managed. Okay, that's flattened out. This is... I guess this can be kept like this. This needs to go further in quite a bit. Like, quite a bit. How much? This much? Yeah, roughly. Somewhere about there. That I'll add separately. I suppose it's supposed to be radar warning, either radar warning or some sort of countermeasure pods, or you could have parachutes come out of it. Could be either of those. Oh, what the heck am I supposed to take care of that? My phone just started going off. The wing was super thin, I believe a few rounds and it's done. Well, isn't that just most modern planes? I think only the, what do you call those? The big, heavy, bulky ones can take a few hits. F-15 can take a few hits. Believe the Sukhois can take a few hits. Yeah, considering they're bigger than the F-15. They can definitely take a few rounds. But anything like a MiG, a modern MiG, or, well, because not a lot of old MiGs still fly. So putting them out of the discussion. A modern MiG or a modern light Western fighter like a F-16, a Gripen. What else do we have? Uh, Not the Deltas. The Deltas can take hits. Maybe not as much as an F-15, but Deltas can take more hits than cropped Deltas. So a Gripen and F-16 would not be able to take more than 1 or 2 rounds. Something like a Mirage. And Mirage is an older one. Let's say Rafale or Eurofighter would be able to take a few more. And then you have the big dogs. The F-16s. Sorry, F-15s. Sukhoi. 30s, 35s. Those can take quite a few hits. I don't think the Raptor can take any hits. I think the F-22 also has like really paper thin wings. So that would also be quite a weak winged aircraft if you're looking at physical strength. Let's try 2.25 again. I am trying to be at least extremely accurate for almost not a good enough reason. No, that was not the right position for it. Because I'm trying to be accurate with these extensions, but then the whole wing is like about a millimeter thick. So now this, if we can have it be slightly better. Oh, there we go. That's better. I guess I'll just let that be like that. That's nicer. That's way nicer. Keeping them lines straight is very important. As well as unwonky as you can have them be. By the way, the software used is called Autodesk Fusion 360. It's a fun software, really good, really easy to use. Unfortunately, not yet industry standard. I'm waiting for the day it becomes industry standard. Because it's way more fun than many other softwares. Whoops. Things not exactly. There we go. That's the correct angle for the back. And just a second, I'll have the front. Or will I? Let's see. Let's see if I'll have the front in place. Selections can be a nightmare in softwares. About so. Would have been nice to not have that. Could subdivide. Or, well, insert edge. Perfect. And then pull it up slightly further outwards. Modify. Oh, damn apples. There you go. Yep, that's better. Okay, the rest of the wing should be relatively easy to do. Like quite easy to do. Come on. Whoopsie. Wrong selection. That's a better selection. Again, slightly better. This curve is not exactly an ideal deal for us. Let's make it more of a sharp thing. Okay, a bit more sharp. Whoops. Ended up moving this in a bit. Suppose that could not be helped much. I could do a better job, but I'm lazy. Very simply, I'm lazy. Okay, so let's make the wing a bit thinner now. Let's be very careful because we don't have a lot of room to play with. A bit more. Oh, not that much. This is very careful work here. Oh, this went a bit too low, I suppose. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. Moving ahead. Where's the damn... Ah, there we go. I forgot where the alt... Ah, shit. I just completely forgot where the alt button was. Yes, making sure it is flat as much as possible, because I do see some not so good bumpy pieces of the wing. That is a very, very minor thing to take care of. And also quite difficult. Minor by size, not minor by difficulty. It's really small detail. And you really can't get the scale of how small this design is, or this model is rather. Well, it's not my design. But you really can't get a good scale. I apologize, I just realized I was sitting really far away from the mic. Can't get a good scale for the aircraft based on... Why am I using caps lock? Based on what you're seeing on screen. Because when I say it's tiny, it's tiny. And right now I just mean the parts, not the plane. The plane is just okay, it's like 4 inches or something. Yep. Still seems fine. I have to do size reduction, or rather thickness reduction. Actually, I can go a bit more drastic, I suppose, with this. It will make it very delicate though at the edges, like very, very delicate. Hey, it does make the plane look good. Okay, let's go to the next. Not exactly penultimate panel, but close enough. When you start going this small, you have to scale down to match the panel differences so you don't have any form of squishing of panels. Because even that's very, very not good for a model. It's terrible for a model actually. Okay, almost there. Quite a bit of wavy lines. Not ideal. This is absolutely not ideal. Whatever this is. But we're not trying to make an actual aircraft here. That's okay. Reduce the thickness. Squish it in a little bit. Push it back. Squish it just slightly more. Do the same. And just squish this to match. Oops. Make it a little bit of an easy transition for the shape. Overall shape of the wing. Otherwise you'd have a thick bump at the back. One more, I guess. Yep. One more is good enough. We don't need to. Well, we don't need to do what we did here. This, though it helped out at the edges, the middle looks meh. It does not look nice. Let's just work on the front end. How far do we have to? About this much is good enough, I guess. Whoops, we didn't pay attention. Why did that happen? What the hell is that? That's not a good thing. Huh. Interesting. Interesting thing to happen there. That we'll just patch it up later. I guess that's. Whoops! What did we do? Oh no! Okay, let's have to go back. I have to go back a bit. That's not most comfortable of ideas for the system. Whoops! Again. What did we do? Okay. All good up to this point. The thing is a bit wonky. I don't know why. I have no idea why it's wonky like that. Must have been some change we might have done earlier, which is ruining it right now. Okay, flatten it out a bit. And let's try that again. I guess it's I think this is a better way of going about it. Last time I think we didn't squish it right, so it kind of went in itself. Yep. There we go. Works way better. Left wing, right? Rename it. Left wing. Work in progress. That should be it for the day. Yep, that is our deal for the day. And this will let us easily look at these issues, whatever this is. It can be ironed out later. Not much of an issue, to be honest. See, we got the same issues at the curves, exactly where I'd seen those weird noodle lines. won't exactly be visible in the 3D print. It will be visible for me, but yeah. Yeah, this can be fixed next time. Looks like a balloon wing. Not too bad of progress, I'd say. Hey, that's quite good for a day's work. That was good progress. That was way better than last time. And I'll take my leave for the day. That was it for today. I quite enjoyed my peaceful time here. I hope you'll enjoy it as well. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you soon next time. Bye bye. Jane. Matane.